even more telling is that ISP's education and rehabilitation program, all of this is or ours. The system is set up to strip people of any dignity or humanity. It targets people, poor people, black people, brown people, people struggling with addiction and with mental illness. The prison system degrades them, separates them from their loved ones and support networks, and refuses to let them go.
Knowing all of this, Warden Ron Neal has the inhumanity to say that the last protest happened because of a few offenders who convinced their families to hold this protest, exaggerated, or simply lied in some cases about conditions of confinement. But we know the truth. We know that the warden is scared that what goes on inside these walls will become public knowledge.
IDOC Watch has been working to bring these abuses to light all across the state, while uniting people on the outside and inside to fight against the IDOC and its abuses, including the racist harassment of our organization's founder, Ngaza Iman Bahar, who is currently being held in the prison, had to be released on the basis of petty, vindictive conduct reports filed against him for his political activity, which the prison authorities are using to deny him the credit time that he has earned. We work especially to help people communicate beyond prison walls. As we saw from our protest 3 months ago, working with supporting our loved ones, from the outside is a threat to the immunity that prison authorities are used to. They use the presence of prisoners' family members and supporters to justify banning visits, then station police and guards in the parking lot to try and intimidate us, as they're doing today. The guards were ordered to make loud noise on the inside, as mentioned, to drown out the sound of our protest. This shows that they want to keep people on the inside and the people who love them silent, separated, and afraid.
Shame, 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 shame.
When they realized we wouldn't back down and that news had spread about the June 23rd protest, the prison authorities responded. Contact visits were restored. Food sharing was allowed again, and ISP promised they would improve the jobs and training available to prisoners within a week of the last protest. Our demands being met not only shows the power of organizing together and demanding immediate change, but also shows that the pretenses the prison authorities constantly use to justify their abuse and neglect are lies. The authorities will say that they don't have the power or resources to make the necessary changes, that all the problems are the result of decisions made at the central office. By meeting our initial demands, they've shown that they do have the power and resources to make changes. But what they lack is the interest or desire to do so, unless we put pressure on them. In fact, the prison authorities' desire and interest is in maintaining people locked in prison in horrible conditions without any way to advocate for themselves so that they will be easy to control and exploit while they're inside, and vulnerable and traumatized when they're released, so that they can easily be incarcerated or will accept whatever crumbs are offered to them. That is what prisons are for. As long as our friends and family are in cages, we haven't won. But we are taking steps in the right direction. Steps toward realizing the power of acting together, inside and outside, towards showing people the true face of the IDOC, towards freeing our loved ones from torment, abuse, and degradation in the hands of the so-called justice system.
Alright, now we're going to read a few testimonies of medical neglect going on inside the facility. We actually have a lot of them. Some of them are quite extensive. Probably won't read them all because it's actually just too much.
Hey, Pink Camera Magic. Doing the prison protest thing here at Indiana State Prison here in Michigan City, Indiana.
I do a few watch blogs. This one is right? Okay. So this one is a testimony from Robert Turbin, number 9822329. Robert Turbin is an inmate at Indiana State Prison in Michigan City. Robert is diabetic and medical staff, represented by Wexford of Indiana, a private contractor, have been changing his insulin treatments, resulting in negative reactions. Recently, he spent 3 days in an intensive care unit as a result of the treatment, after which he was returned to the prison,
I'm not really sure, Santa Claus.
Another 3 days in the ICU.
Didn't see it.
Doctors in the ICU recommended alternate treatments, but the prison is now refusing to provide. Furthermore, Robert suffers from complications following an operation on his foot. Several years ago, doctors applied silver nitrate, a cautery agent, leaving it on his foot after it should have been removed, resulting in a blood infection. After many years of neglect by medical staff, Robert experienced severe pain, which has never been addressed. Mr. Turbin has made at least 7 requests to review his medical records since March, and has yet to be provided with them, being told they will quote-unquote get to him. After the call-in, we received this update from one of Robert's loved ones. They still won't give him his property back, which includes food that he needs to sustain his blood sugars. They added our insulin, which is what he can't take, so every day he has to refuse it, hoping they don't put it in with his other insulin that he takes. If they did, then he has to refuse all of it. His foot is darker in color in the picture.
Yes, sir, Santa Claus, it is.
After the call-in, however, he did get copies of his medical records. So that's one testimony. Okay, here's another testimony. This is from inmate Jeffrey Hill here at Indiana State Prison. On July 4, 2018, I was playing softball and the fly ball was hit to me, and I was backpedaling and my foot went into a hole, and I flew back when it came down on my wrist. I heard it snap. I was then taken to medical, and the RN, Deanna, called custody and says, we're going to have one going to the hospital for a broke wrist. Custody said, okay, give us 30 minutes.
Yes, Texas Rose. Use of prisoners, lack of basic medical health care, healthy food, get rid of the bed bugs, just your basics.
Then says, I don't agree with this, but I can't override her, I'll lose my job. Well, the next day I get an x-ray done, the x-ray tech shows the x-ray, says your wrist is broken. So then the doctor comes in, this place fractured, and told the nurse to ace wrap my wrist. And on July 31, 2018, 27 days later, I go to St. Anthony Hospital, and the ortho takes an x-ray and says your wrist is broken several places, and you're going to need surgery. And on August 15, 2018, Dr. Marthakis intentionally lied to me about my x-ray results, denied me of going to the hospital, and as a result of that, I've been in extreme pain ever since. Here's the results. So this is the man who has a wrist that's broken in several places, is currently inside this facility, being denied an opportunity to go to the hospital and get the operation that he needs. Michael Overstreet, temporarily manager at the State Prison. He said, I have complained for what seems like a year now. The prison staff, guards, constantly cancel my mental health classes. So the pain I've been told time to time, it's a pain in their ass to take me over for my counseling. For 18 years, I've acquired a prison security message to remote anywhere within the facility, primarily because I'm on death row.
Thank you, Eric, for anyone watching the live version of this. The reason I'm not talking as much is because I'm doing 2 recordings. For anyone watching the camera version, that's why I'm randomly talking to Santa Claus and stuff.
I have been refusing my psych meds for several days because of issues I'm having with them. I requested to see the psych doctor several times and was finally scheduled to see him. However, each time my pass was canceled by the acting lieutenant who was scheduled to be the escort. That's probably not good. This is a man who has serious mental health. This is a man who has serious mental health issues, such as here at ISP. Is being denied access to mental health care, routinely causing him to have mental breakdowns. Someone just pointed out that the guys that stopped recording the recording up to this point when we started reading testimony, so they're not interested in what's actually going on inside the facility.
Apologies.
This is from John Myers, 161695. I've been without food for over a year now and limited to the food I can eat. And hard on my digestion and not being able to properly chew the food I'm able to eat.
They're useless, Eric.
And pulled at the hole in my mouth, which connects to my sinuses. At times, food finds its way into this hole, and I must use caution when I drink water, that it does not run out of my nose. I'm always worried about an infection. If only I attention it, the problem would go away. After my paper pull dumped here by the police no subjections began. During the process, I've been detected several times. My last visit was in the spring of 2018, when I tried in the 17th. For the wax or wax science. The dentist made a few notes concerning some adjustments that need to be made in the case of the mail the wax science in Florida, so the adjustments would take place. The next day, before the dentist was able to mail out the wax science to the spires and escorted off of the prison grounds. The thing the steps that remain, the wax science needs to be mailed to Florida for adjustments, and second set returns, so the second set needs no adjustments. These dentists had no dentist in the facility. I written a serious letter of medical services twice concerning the issue you mentioned within this letter, and the unit team has sent her an email of the same. I last wrote to Sherry a letter on July 15, 2018 by way of healthcare form 20552. I have today, over a month later, received no response of any of the above mentioned attempts. Listening has been without teeth for over a year, constantly concerned about infection as a result of that, and has been denied the dentist that he needs to chew his food. Okay, this one's from Dola Al-Khalidi. Certain issues that I have been dealing with started in March 2018 when Dentist.net operated on the wrong tier, which caused infection. April communication said that I broke the infection with one of the second things to an aspect.
I wonder if I can give you a handout, sir. Let you know what you defended. You're very welcome. Sure you don't want to fly? Let you know what you're defending.
Alright guys, how we feeling now? Can I get a whoop whoop? Whoop whoop! That shit was heavy, am I right? We don't gotta live in a world with this shit. Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Alright, I'd like speakers let me around.
Calm down, Kaiser. There's like 4 people in masks. And they're probably concerned dipshit people like you stalk them and fuck up their job for them.
Let's do a chant real quick. I'm going to say racist means we got to fight back. And I'm going to say something else means
Oh.
we got to fight back, okay? Because racism means
We gotta fight back!
we
gotta fight back! We gotta fight back!
Jeffrey P. records 10/1/1980, 619 Superior Street, Michigan City, 586-5572. Guess where it is? Apologies. Kind of windy today. These are the kind of people you got working here. Literal Nazis. You know what I mean? So while you're talking about fucking masks, all your Klansmen type correctional officers and shit, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. That's why we're out here today. Don't worry about anybody's fucking bandana on their face. This is right here, out in the open. He ain't wearing no mask. That's what you need to be concerned with. That's why we're here today. See them? They ain't wearing a mask either. Yes, ma'am, you can. Enjoy. Thank Great Lakes Antifa.
That doesn't stop. The systemic repression does not end. Right? It does not stop. Our kids in schools are facing the same type of repression. School to prison pipeline is the same thing. Right? The same type of treatment. But more than that, the same mentality goes on. Teachers are being forced to treat these kids like they're in jail. The teachers are in jail too. The people who work on the other side of that wall, they're doing time too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're doing a certain amount of time too.
Mandatory
We
overtime.
got contacted very recently by somebody who works on the other side of that wall. And they reported the types of conditions that they're living in, that they're working in. It's the same. It's the same, and they're not doing anything about it. Right? Because if you're a boss, if you have a boss, you don't mean anything more to them than the people doing time. Not a bit more. You're replaceable. People could be working in that prison 1 minute and be doing time in that prison the next minute. That's just how this system is, right? It's not one particular thing going wrong. It's how the system is. If you go to some of these neighborhoods, they look really, really familiar to people coming out of prison. If you go to some of these schools, it's indistinguishable. It looks the exact same. I grew up in the projects. I know what it is. I know what it looks like. Right? I have family many walls. Right? It's not terribly different. And we have to fight back. We have to fight back. We have to fight back for them. We got to fight back for us. Right? Because they're coming out to us. Hell, some of us might be going in with them. We got to fight back. That has to be the thing that we have to keep in mind. It's not just that they're suffering behind that wall. They're going to suffer when they get out. The suffering for working class people does not stop. When you look at the conditions of these schools, the suffering does not stop. These kids are not being taught. They're being conditioned to go behind these walls. Teachers will tell you that.
That's right.
Administrators will tell you that. As we know, people who work on the other side of that wall are risking their jobs, their livelihood to tell us that. It's what's happening right now. So we don't perceive that fight from being different than what we're fighting for in Gary. People are coming back into this community from long-term imprisonment, and they're coming back to conditions that are very familiar to them. They're coming back to conditions that haven't changed that much, not that much at all. And we have to unify our fights. This isn't a one-time thing, right? There are people who are related to folks behind these walls that are doing time with them, right? Wage earners are being families. They're doing time with them. When they come back out, they're not coming back out to much. They're still doing time. Those of us who haven't been behind the wall but have to sell our labor power, undersell our labor power to live in equally shitty conditions, we're doing time too. We're doing time under an oppressive system that does not care which side of the wall we're on. They're making money off of us. Either way, they're making money off of us. So us in Black Lives Matter, Gary, Northwest Indiana, we fight this battle with them. We celebrate Black August, and we realize that fights and struggles for freedom, it doesn't stop because of a wall. On both sides of the wall, we have to wage those fights. And Gary, we know the type of predatory policing that's going on. We know that they're terrorizing people in these communities, whether it be with fines they have no hope of paying, so they're probably going to be incarcerated when they don't pay them, or going directly into incarceration. It doesn't matter. Or closing these schools at a rate where the parents can't keep up. Closing these schools means you have to move out of these communities back into situations that you probably don't want to be in, right? To where you have such a police presence, such a substantial police presence in your neighborhoods, you might as well be in prison because they treat you the same. The police presence in these schools is so substantial, they treat you the same. It doesn't matter. When you see cops beating up kids in school, they're behind the wall. It doesn't stop. We have to, everybody. We have to unify this fight back. We're all fighting the same fight. All right? Here's another chance. Same enemy, same fight. Workers of the world unite. Okay? Same enemy, same fight. Workers of the world unite. Same enemy, same fight. Workers of the world unite. Same enemy, same fight. Workers of the world unite. Same enemy, same fight. Workers of the world unite. So they can record us all they want. We know what they're doing. We know that the people who work here can be behind the wall. Who didn't see that Michael Moore movie, right? Where the prison guard walks up on a guy that he went to school with, and that guy used to work in the prison. It can change. Shit can change real quick, depending on your position, depending on how hard you have it. So they can park over here. They can take videos of us. They can stand over there. They got people on lockdown in the prison. They know we're here. They know what's going on. They're doing as much organizing behind those walls as we're doing out here. We're fighting the same fight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to have a couple more testimonies. Leslie is going to speak after we read a few more testimonies. How's everybody feeling right now? All right, I want to do one more chant. I love chants. They get me hyped up. Does that work for y'all? Yeah! All right, so this one goes. Oh, Jim Crow, you drink Jim Crow. The whole damn system's got to go. Oh, Jim Crow, you Jim Crow. The whole damn system's got to go. Oh, Jim Crow, you Jim Crow. The whole damn system's got to go. Jim Crow, you Jim Crow. The whole damn system's got to go.
guys. Apologies, give me 1 second. I'm trying to give free hand here.
All right, thank you everyone for coming today. We got a few more testimonials here. The first one is from Harold Money. It's rather lengthy. I will do as much of it as I can to justice to Comrade Money. He says, Wexford Medical here at the Indiana State Prison is all about saving money, no matter the cost, or harm to an inmate here at the prison. Also, the staff here at the Indiana State Prison is very lax in the reaction when confronted by inmates such as myself who have serious medical issues or disabilities. This is what happened when I approached prison employees Lieutenant Draper and Counselor Wilson, who both work at C Cell House. Both have known me for years and are fully aware of my disability in my left eye, or my left leg, due to a car accident. Yet when I approached them about my housing and my disability, they refused to do anything to remedy the situation. When I reminded them that Section 504 of the Americans Disability Act requires the prison to provide me with, quote, reasonable accommodation, at this point, and I was told that they could not move me, and I had to fill out a AMHCR medical health care request and get the medical unit to provide them with proof of my disability and my need for special housing needs. Either of these employees could have pushed a few keys on the computer in front of them and got the information, or made a simple phone call to the medical unit, as my medical condition is well documented, as I've been a chronic care patient here at the prison for about 7 years. I also put my concerns in writing to Beth of the employees, and again was told that they could not move me, and for me to contact the medical unit through MHCR. This is an outright display of deliberate indifference, and sadly is common practice here at the prison. As my first attempt to remedy the situation, where prison employees failed, I attempted to contact medical while still housed in 333 west of C Cell House, which due to my disability is not considered, quote, reasonable accommodation under Section 504 of the Americans Disability Act. As my first attempt to remedy the situation, and my second attempt to remedy the situation through medical unit ran by the Wexford Medical Services also failed. When I sent an MHCR form in asking for proof of my disability and proof of my need for, quote, reasonable accommodation for my disability, declined multiple flights of stairs repeatedly, especially when the stairs are dimly lit. In some cases, offer no access to a handrail. My first MHCR was met.
For anyone watching, this right here, this is Brandon Devine and his family is Brandon Devine. Google his name, D-E-V-I-N-E. He died in a fire here in his cell. All sorts of shady circumstances, disinformation released to the public. The dude was pretty much burned alive in his cell. Big blob of char when they found him. Sorry to put it like that, but it's super sad how they let this man die. Brandon Devine. If you're watching this video and you take anything from it, it's one story you need to know about. Well, Dana, here's some. There's some walking around over there. There's another guy back there in that tower. Maybe two. That's probably theirs. That's them. There's a couple more of these. This is a little state-owned parking lot. So most of these vehicles in here today belong to the officers. They're huddled up behind that van and inside of it. You can see another set of feet. There's, you know.
I'd like you to see the picture of being held up. I'm only going to read the internal memo that came from the prison. So if you think that
This is him.
everybody's on your side, they're not.
This is Brandon Devine. Pay attention to this story.
On April 7th, 2017 by Jay Rodriguez. On April 17th, 2017, approximately 9:40 p.m., I was in the office at the time, and I started hearing offenders yelling. And it wasn't until I got assaulted onto the 200 range until I heard offenders yelling, "Fire!" And that's when I yelled for Officer Abati and Officer Blakely. I started to smell smoke. And that's when
Oh, I'm sorry. It is Joshua Devine. You're right. I apologize, Joshua Devine. Sorry, I've met a lot of new people today. I'm not good with names. Good with...
That's when I made it up to 544 and saw the fire in the cell and the offender on the ground. This young man right here in the picture, that's what we're talking about. On the ground on fire. I ran back to call for Officer Blakely from the 500 key. But she was not able to meet me up there because she was at the door. She had the key to open the front gate. And the other officer. So it wasn't until Lieutenant Watson met me there with the 500 keys so we could unlock the cell door. So we went from 9 o'clock fire to 9:40 or after before somebody lets this cell open. And then they tried to say they performed CPR on this young man you see back here on his start line. He was dead by then. They went away. They came to the fire. They seen him on fire. Nobody had keys. Nobody had radios that worked. And they all just went away.
Put Neil in a cell and put the fire on. We'll see how fast they get his ass out.
I have an account from one of the inmates that not only knows this gentleman well, but has near his cell. And I'm going to read the account when we get down to the "You Are Beautiful" sign. That's all I got to say now. Can we get an actual round of applause for the mother of the inmate coming out here and telling us? Alright, I want to hear one chant, guys. Justice for Josh! 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 Woo! Alright, next up we're gonna have Baya come up here and get everybody a little bit hyped up. Baya is a badass organizer from Elkhart, Indiana. She organizes around immigrant rights. Can we get a warm round of applause for Baya? Woo! How's everyone doing? Are we pissed off?
Yeah!
Are you fucking pissed off?
Hell yeah!
Hello,
driving opposition was education. Our focus was on educating the community about immigration detention, specifically focused on private detention. As more people read our stories of community sharing, moving to oppose the center, opposing it loudly, because they were disgusted with the way private detention centers were treating incarcerated immigrants. But people didn't keep it narrow. They started talking about public detention centers as well. And when the time came in January and Core Civic withdrew their proposals, the community was roaring loud, right?
Sorry, the close-up
We were
causes
all
it to
proud of the
buffer.
work we did to stop the detention center being built in our own backyard. Weeks passed and soon the focus was on family separation. For a couple weeks, people started roaring loudly opposing family separation at borders. People couldn't believe that ICE was separating parents from their children. Rallies and marches popped up around the country, and people even started hell yeah, Valentine. Mainstream media was pouring stories from mothers, from children, and they were even showing the kids trying to represent themselves in voice. But decision making and Congress failed to make a decision, momentum died down. We continue seeing stories shared here and there, but not as much as there once was. Fast forward to August 21st and nothing. Rallies and marches were popping up everywhere. Mainstream media posted more about prison strikes than they had in the past, but the people who were rallying to support incarcerated immigrants failed to stand up to support the prisoners and other prisoners who are calling for action. Why is it that people aren't rallying behind prisoners, most of who are people of marginalized communities, predominantly people of color and working class? Why is it that people aren't mobilizing to fight against the conditions these prisoners are facing, most of whom actually face even worse conditions than incarcerated immigrants? We know that prisoners in these facilities face far more retaliation and abuse from those in power, and are often forgotten, but come from these same communities people are supposedly standing up for. Society does such a good job criminalizing people and neglecting these felons because the system taught us to think that it's necessary to incarcerate these criminals to keep us, quote unquote, safe. But in reality, who are we keeping safe? As I talked to my friends about the prison strike, people were asking me, why are you defending criminals? Why are you standing up for people who don't deserve to be stood up for? And I'm most of the people incarcerated in America are nonviolent offenders. Most of the people incarcerated are my black and brown brothers. Most of the people incarcerated are in prison because they can't afford to pay their bail. Most of the people incarcerated are in prison and stripped from all of the freedoms we're supposed to be fighting for because we fail to provide the resources they need to prosper. And then we incarcerate them. We use them for cheap labor, for slavery. We fail to provide them rehabilitation services. We fail to provide them basic medical needs. And we fail to provide some of them with the mental health services they need. And the rapists, the white supremacist terrorists, the rich white men who work for the president that commit fraud fail to ever be in prison. So again, who are we keeping safe? And to draw your attention back to immigration detention centers, what makes those detained in immigration detention different from those detained in prison jail? What makes the detained in immigration detention different than those kids who are often tried as adults and sent to adult prison, or different from the kids who get sent to youth? Progressives, activists, organizers who are not here with us fail us when they fail to see and address the intersectionality of our struggles. If we're trying to fight back, if we're trying to fight for our freedom and for
1 minute and I'll go live again.